That is the Altogether IPA. I did a brew day video on this. It was the collaboration brew day, the Altogether brew day, the live brew day. Let's have a look at the footage and we'll come back and I'll do a little review on this. Going brew in a bag today again, just to see what happens. Less clean as well, because it might get messy. If everybody's on a Zoom call and drinking, it might get a bit messy. So the less cleaning the better. The one thing that I really hate cleaning the most is that the big malt pipe. Oh, I hate that. And the three gauzes to stop it from getting through. 3 filters to stop the grain from getting through, even though every time it does get through. So, what's the point? Okay, batch sparge. This is what I like. Very simple, no messing about. That bag goes from there into there, 20 minutes. The time the 20 minutes is up, that's got up to nearly 100, that goes into that. Simple. That's about 9 litres in that. Wow. Okay. You're at the boil, Columbus. It's the hop stand. There's a lot of hops going in there. We're going to put it that side or that side. Let's put it over there. We'll give that about 20 minutes or so. Okay, that is the end of the brew day. We pretty much hit our numbers except for the volume. Volume's about 2 litres short. I did take a litre out at the start to kind of take out as much of the crap out as possible. A lot of the stuff that was going into that fermenter was filled with crap anyway, and then I cut it short at the end. So volume wise we're down, but in terms of the numbers we're actually pretty much dead, spot on, pre-boil and post-boil. So that's it there, 1057, spot on. I'm quite happy about that for brewing a bag. Now it was a 2 hour mash. In terms of the yeast, I made a starter. I poured most of it off. Now it's very dark there. It's like amber extract I have. It's all I've got left. I haven't got any dry malt or anything else. Funnily enough, actually, I've got about 2 or 3 litres of extra wort that came off. I'm going to boil it up and then I'm going to, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Freeze it for a starter for next time. This is 1056 Y yeast. Getting ready for the dry hop. So this is our dry hop here. I don't know exactly what that is. It's quite a lot of hops, I know that. I'll put it on the screen. So normally I would just toss that straight into the fermenter and then afterwards it'll crash down and I'll just rack off the top or use the top. But I'm not going to do that because this is 1056. This is the first time I've used it. I wanted to get a top crop part of it, and it was like within 2 days it had fermented down to 90 something %. So it kind of missed my little window there. So I want to see if some of the trub, and then we can top crop the next generation. So basically what we're going to do this time, rather than throwing it, because it's going to be a mess, I don't want it to be tainted with any kind of hop debris. So I'm going to use some hop bags. So basically I'm going to be using 2 hop bags. One is for the hops themselves, just the big one, and then the other one is for, got some, they're not quite marbles, they're like kind of glass. They're supposed to be like bits of glass you would put around plants and stuff to make them look pretty. But I have used it for dry hopping. But they're glass anyway, and they're not stainless steel. I didn't want any kind of. I don't like the idea of putting any kind of stainless steel or anything in there, or any kind of metal. Prefer not to, but that's just me. So wow, smell those. Woo! It smells absolutely amazing. Yeah, so it fermented out in no time, but I left it anyway in the fermenter until must be about a week later now. There we go. So got that little cable tie then, just to stop any of the kind of hops coming out of it, but enough space to let them kind of settle. I'll try and get it as wide over the top as I can. And then we also have the other hop bag, which is, what did I do with it? Ooh, that's a question. Actually, did I do this? What? What? I'm thinking it's in this. Is it in this? It fucking is in this, you idiot. Oh, you dickhead. Okay, this is definitely how I do it. Oh, let's just pause it here and we'll do a take. We'll do another take. I have done this before, honest. You wouldn't think it. I think I was just making it up as I went along. Yeah, it wasn't very clever. The heat. I'm blaming the heat. It's like 27 degrees in here. Yes, there's it in there, and it's rotten. It's rotten with hops. Okay, let's just get through this then. Got another cable tie. Star some out of that. So the marbles, let's call them marbles because that's pretty much what they are. Into that one, I'll weigh it down. Okay, and then either I'll tie it onto the top or I'll put it inside. I mean, I may as well put it inside now because God knows if it's covered in hops anyway. So. And then once more, cable tie over the top. We'll get it in the fermenter. Okay. So it finished out in 10:13, which is spot on what the recipe was. That's what it looks like there. And it's going in, sinks straight to the bottom. Good stuff, that'll leave the trub nice and clean. That's it, we'll give that about 3 or 4 days and then cold crush it. Okay, so it's definitely cloudy. I think we can safely assume it is definitely cloudy. Nice little white head on it as well too. A little bit of white in there, possibly that has something to do with it, but it was a very pale beard to be honest to begin with, so it was always going to be white. So, well yeah, very cloudy. Not a massive amount of carbonation in there. I've got a little bit of an issue with my keg, in that it's got a tiny little bit of a leak just underneath the keg post. I don't have a spare keg either, so I'm kind of stuck with that until it's empty and then I can have a good look at it. But it's nothing too bad. I put a lot of plumber's tape around it and I think I've caught the worst of it, but you can't really get this highly carbonated. But it does not matter. So, it looks pretty good so far. Let's give it a smell. It smells pretty good. It smells fruity. tropical fruits, mango and pineapple and all that good stuff that mosaic gives you. That's what it really smells like. It's really heavy on the mosaic. It smells absolutely delicious. Now the dry hop was something like 190 grams, and of which about half of that was mosaic and the other half was split between Cascade and Simcoe. So it's not really a surprise that the mosaic is front and centre. It smells fantastic. I mean, it would be good if it was slightly more carbonated, because then you know, that would kind of, it'd be like bombs going off in your mouth and your nose. Probably in your mouth as well, let's be honest. It smells absolutely fantastic. Okay, I'm going in. Cheers. It's quite nice. It's quite nice as well. Again, like I said before, for my preference, I would like it to be a little bit more fizzy. But the taste on it is still pretty good as well. It's very, there's a lot more citrus on the taste than there is on the smell. There's a little bit on the smell, but there's a lot more on the taste. So you're getting the kind of all the tropical notes from the Cascade, or from the mosaic, and then you're getting the citrus underneath. Not too much bitterness on it. This is only like 40, I think it was 48 IBU maybe, so not an awful lot, and it doesn't taste like even 48 IBU, it tastes less. Finished on 10-13 as well too, which is pretty much what it was supposed to. I think pretty much spot on to the recipe. So this is 5.8% then, and that makes it. It is really, it's incredibly drinkable. It's maybe a medium mouthfeel on it. There's like half a kilo of oats in there, about 200-250 grams of wheat. So you'd like to think that that would build the body a little bit. Very, very hop forward, unsurprisingly. This was the West Coast version rather than the New England IPA. Very, very nice. Quite happy with how that's turned out, but there is one issue I find with it, and because no beer's ever perfect, the issue is, and I've mentioned this before, when I use oats in beer, and I've done a few New England IPAs, but also especially recently pale ales and IPAs with both porridge oats, and now the golden naked oats is what's in this. And apart from the last beer that I did, I'm not sure what maybe it was the West Coast one, West Coast Pale. They were all kind of, they had this taste on the back end which I couldn't quite place, and I thought it was the oats. I still think it's the oats, because the only time I get the taste is when I use oats in beer. And it's kind of like, it's hard to describe what the taste is. It's more, it's like bitterness, and it's like mixed in with like a metallic kind of taste, kind of that kind of combination. It's with this beer here, it's you don't really notice it to begin with, but I noticed it last night. I had about 3 of these last night, and by the time the third one, I didn't really notice it too much in the first one, maybe by the end of the glass. Second one I did notice it, and third one it was like really, really noticeable. So, which kind of ruined it, and then I had to go and drink something else. Now maybe it's me just picking up on that, but yeah, every time I brew with oats, I get that taste, and I don't know what it is, and possibly oxidization. But I mean, when you read about oxidization, it's always the wet cardboard taste. It doesn't taste like wet cardboard at all. I think I'm just going to pull back from using oats anymore, apart from in dark beers. It works really well, stouts. But I think for pale beers, I'm just going to use something else. Probably just wheat is my kind of go-to these days. Maybe a bit of flake barley actually I could try. That might actually work, flake barley in a New England IPA, and see what that turns out like. But yeah, that's the only downside to this beer, and it is a very nice beer, don't get me wrong, but there is that kind of taste, whatever that is, that kind of puts me off a little bit. And you know, it might just be me. You know, if I were to send you one of these, you may not even notice it, but it's something that's in my head, and when it's in, you know, when something's in your head, it's like you notice it all the time. Possibly I could try brew this again and use something else. Maybe I'll get some flake barley in and use some of that and see if there's a difference. So that might be the next thing. So yeah, anyway, it's a success. I know I've just rambled for the last 5 minutes about telling you how shit it is, but it's a success. Cheers. Do we dance? Oh my goodness, feel the flames in your old shoes. Oh wow.